welcome to the SaaS marketing series. It starts today all the way till the 4th of April, and it's 5 master classes. Cool. So in terms of the actual master classes, so today we cover YouTube and how to scale your SaaS brand on YouTube. Next week, it's Aman, who's here, our head of growth, and George, our head of clients, who will talk you through how to get your traffic up. We did a session in December on SEO. This was super well attended, extremely successful, where we talked about AI and SEO. This one will also cover just how to outrank your competitors if they have a much higher domain authority than you. Then on the 7th of March, we have a senior executive from the SaaS group join and talk to you about how to prepare yourself on exit, what metrics to hit, and how to just, prepare the process. On the 21st of March, we basically talk about how to get PR and backlinks in Fortune, Forbes, TechCrunch, not only when you fundraise, but in a repeatable and scalable manner. And then we conclude the masterclass series with email marketing for your SaaS business. Very quickly, in terms of intro, if you haven't heard about us, we've been around for 3 years, but won a lot of various amazing awards, including finalists last year in the Oscar for Marketing, the Drum Awards, and the year before Best B2B Agency in the UK for SEO in particular. Today, we focus mostly on SaaS businesses and worked with more than 60 companies to date. So before we kick off, a quick poll. So Aman will be reading out loud the results. So the poll is, how did you hear about us? So feel free to click on it, and that will obviously help us a lot with our marketing as well.
So around 50% saw us from LinkedIn ads, 20% through email, 20% through friends. You have great friends, guys. And other was a fair bit, so I should have broke those choices out a bit more now. But thank you so much, guys. Appreciate it.
Awesome, cool.
Yeah, what were the others? Maybe the people who selected other, could they type that in the chat while we're continuing?
Good point.
Yeah.
All right. So today's topic: how to drive SaaS signups with YouTube. And pretty much you have two worlds here. You have Shane, who is an ex-pharmacist with 678,000 followers on YouTube. He's been doing YouTube for 4 years. Disclosed recently on his Twitter that he makes $300,000 a month from YouTube. That's probably more than most Series A SaaS businesses out there. And then you have myself with 148 subscribers. I started 2 months ago, so please do follow and subscribe to my YouTube. I just need a few more subscribers to catch up with Shane. But jokes aside, my background is I did 10 years of finance, investing in SaaS and tech companies for VC and then in private equity before raising capital myself 4 years ago. And today it's a holding company when NUOPTIMA is one of the portfolio companies. So today's agenda, importance of YouTube. So I'll cover that. Types of SaaS YouTube channels, I cover that as well. I have a few slides where I show you like the various different SaaS companies and how they use YouTube. And then we get into the very juicy stuff which Shane covers, which is all about how to position your YouTube channel and how to actually grow your YouTube channel. And then we'll have probably almost 20 minutes for Q&A. Now, if you have any questions in the meantime, please put them into the chat. That will help us to collect the questions and then, answer them in a structured manner before running out of time. So to kick off, another poll, what type of business do you run? So not just SaaS, but really B2B, B2C, vertical, horizontal, both, agency, or if you're an investor. If you can, please type in your answer.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. This will help us definitely tailor the presentation a little bit more on the fly. So we're here. We have around, let's say, 50% of attendees are B2B SaaS, 10% are B2C SaaS, and around the remaining 40% is a mix of consultancies and agencies and a couple investors. So thanks so much, guys.
Okay,
Awesome.
cool. We have one more poll before we get to the interesting stuff. What's your biggest blocker to business growth?
It's a free form field, so if it's like getting leads, it's, is it through YouTube? Is that blocking you? Feel free to answer.
Retention is maybe another one. Feel free to like separate it with commas. Growth, retention, capital, hiring.
Operations.
Nice. Awesome. Interestingly, I can't actually see the answers to this question. I'm guessing Zoom forces me to see it afterwards. So I'll try to go into Zoom now and get the answers out. I'll give you a couple more minutes, guys. I know it's a bit of a long one to answer.
And then also, like, while we're waiting, feel free to put more questions into the chat of what you want to get out of this presentation ideally as well. That will help us to direct the content.
Cool. I'll end the poll now. It's been about a minute. Let's carry on.
Perfect. Okay, awesome. So YouTube is the second biggest search engine out there right now after Google, and Google owns YouTube. So YouTube is taking really a lot of real estate in Google, but it's also a massive search engine. We asked a lot of users why YouTube is important for them, and actually they really like to educate themselves on YouTube and look at tutorials, the UX, UI of a SaaS before buying that SaaS. And obviously, video is becoming way more important. I think there is a study where like 72% of people, consumers, prefer video over text marketing nowadays. And then finally, I did a month ago a video on Thrasio, a big aggregator who raised 3 billion, how they are going bankrupt. And that video now is actually ranked number 7 in Google, even above TechCrunch. So it just shows you that you can put something on YouTube and it will actually rank really, really well on Google just because of YouTube's massive domain authority as well. And obviously you have like other opportunities for affiliate and partnership programs as well. So one more poll. What's your experience with YouTube? Again, will give us a good insight on where the level is here. But also, yeah, if you already have videos and you get leads, or if you're really, really new to YouTube.
Sweet, awesome. So let's say results are coming in pretty fast, actually. Okay, so let's say 40% of people have never posted a single video. This is going to be an awesome call for you guys. And then I'd say like 50% occasionally post videos, but very few views and leads. And there's only a couple people that post videos consistently and get views and leads consistently. Awesome. Cool. Hopefully that helps.
All right, so we'll have like 6 or 8 different SaaS examples here. So the first one's it's basically a low ticket SaaS called Everbot. It's basically like a lead gen tool for LinkedIn, email, and this guy drives more than half of his leads through YouTube by now. And if you look at the content, it's pretty much how-to guide content, so super bottom funnel, very much pain-based kind of content. Then you have Everbee, which is a SaaS which analyzes what kind of product to launch on Etsy. And that's a slightly different content because you see a lot of case studies from Etsy merchants showing you how they used Everbee to get their product on Etsy or how to sell better on Etsy. So again, 2 different examples here. Then we have Ahrefs, which is a company. It's an analytics tool for basically also agencies like ours, which really need to analyze the traffic on your site, your domain authority, the number of backlinks. And these guys drive very much top funnel content. So very like sensational content of like, okay, cool, Google loves this, or how to get New York Times 100 million side business, some toxic stuff, ranked number 1 in 24 hours. So very much like clickbaity, super top funnel content. On the other hand, you have HubSpot, which is more like paint-based and Everbot, but more importantly, they produce tutorials on features and on new product launches. So they use actually YouTube for much more revenue expansion, for example, and to educate the existing customer base rather than trying to get new customers on. That's also because, for example, they are higher ticket, so almost like enterprise SaaS, versus Ahrefs is definitely SMB SaaS. Cool. And then two other examples. So Agora Pulse, they actually use YouTube a lot to post testimonials of their customer stories. And we actually have that on NUOPTIMA as well. And then we have Foreplay, which is a SaaS where you can save ads on Google, on Meta, etc. So like a UX, UI type of SaaS product. And they only have webinars on their page. And they basically drive a lot of traffic from the Twitter and the email to YouTube live sessions and basically do all the webinars there. And you can see they just started very, very recently, and the number of views they have there are pretty good for basically a startup which just launched with like 29K views 2 weeks ago. And that's not even a clickbaity thumbnail here. And then one more, which is basically Brian Dean. So maybe some of you know Brian Dean. He was the founder of Backlinko, which was like an SEO tool / course. He sold it. And now he's the founder of Explosive Topics, which is a SaaS business, which Sempar mentioned, and it kind of like went super viral as well. And actually, he went from super bottom funnel content, which he did 5 years ago, 4 years ago, 3 years ago, before he sold the first business, to much more top funnel. You can see how the thumbnails changed. It is very sensational, very clickbaity, and doesn't really have anything to do anymore with like the actual business he runs. Although, of course, he then converts the really, really big top funnel stuff into leads and clients down the line as well. So in summary, before we move into Shane's section, you can basically have, similar to any other marketing channel, you can target top funnel, middle funnel, or bottom funnel. Everything is really possible, and it really is the strategy you kind of decide to go with, and then just the execution of that strategy. So in summary, you're probably very confused because there are lots of different ways which lead to Rome. So what should you do? So before we answer that question, not another poll, but podcast, you can please follow on Spotify or YouTube. By the way, YouTube is getting more and more market share in the podcast business as well. It's actually, after Spotify and Apple Podcasts, the third largest podcast kind of hosting platform now. So if you want to speak on our podcast, which we launched only 4 weeks ago, and we already had more than 500 listeners, with the latest one doing extremely well, please suggest yourself as a guest, or you can put somebody else's name as a guest. But this is a really cool podcast, and we aim to interview 52 founders, minimum usually $1 million ARR this year. Cool. So let me introduce Shane very briefly. As I mentioned, he's a super successful YouTuber right now. He actually started as a pharmacist, and then now runs a massive YouTube channel, but also helped 15 plus businesses to get to $100,000 plus dollars in revenue per month on YouTube. And one of his clients was Course Carriers, which is pretty much a kind of a SaaS business as well. So before
awesome,
we jump,
so
cool.
Yeah, do you want me to jump in and share the screen real quick? Okay, awesome. Yeah, I thought I was kind of gonna do the introduction myself. So let's see here, slideshow. Let's go back. Okay, yeah. So yeah, I'm an ex-pharmacist. I went through the whole college system in the US, became a pharmacist. I was a pharmacist during the pandemic. During that time, I got pretty stressed out. And so I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to try to start some businesses online. Tried a bunch of different businesses. YouTube was the one that really worked for me. And I have a 600K plus subscriber YouTube channel now. Helped a bunch of businesses, other YouTubers and businesses get to over 100K per month. Had the pleasure of working with Course Careers. This was one of the businesses that kind of just like cold emailed me out of the blue, and really liked their business, and they're valued at about 100 mil right now. I would be incredibly surprised if they don't end up selling the company for like $1 billion, because I think it's an amazing company. And I was able to actually work with them, and I got equity in their company. So I think that was an amazing experience. So that's kind of my experience working with like a startup, for instance. And yeah, my main channel is about helping people get in-demand, high-paying jobs fast without the need for a college degree or previous experience. And let's go to, I actually wrote this poll on there. It wasn't them, it was my idea. But just to get some more context, guys, if you could just go ahead and just let me know what your monthly recurring revenue is, just so I can kind of give you some context. It'll help me a lot when it comes to this presentation. And by the way, it's completely anonymous as well. So it's completely anonymous. You don't have to worry about it. Like nobody's going to know what your MRR is. So it's completely anonymous. And I think Aman is going to let us know what the results are.
Yeah, apologies. I kind of posted it and then unposted it, so it's gone live again. So results,
Okay.
let's say 50%, 0 to 10K. So you guys are probably finding PMF, let's say. Then everything else is around 10% each. So 10% of people are 10 to 30K, 15% 30 to 70K, and then 10% 70K plus, and then 10% 200K. So nice long tail distribution as expected.
Very cool. All right. So, you know, I only have about 15 minutes to give you guys as much value as possible. So I'm trying to pack in the value per second here. So I'm literally telling you guys like the absolute most important stuff. Some of this stuff might be a little bit basic, like creating a hybrid personal brand, for instance. You might think that's pretty basic, but it really makes a big difference. So we're going to go over creating a hybrid personal brand to position your channel correctly, using the ICAHN method to find winning topics, using the holy trifecta on every video, and then leveraging affiliates and partnerships. So first of all, what exactly is a hybrid personal brand versus just a personal brand? Because I think everybody knows what a personal brand is. That's what I have. You know, on YouTube, I'm Shane Hummus, and that's my personal brand. The reason that personal brands are so important is because of the fact that people want to buy from other people. They don't want to buy from kind of like soulless entities, right? Like corporations anymore. They're tired of doing that. And so they like buying from other people that they can relate to, that they can, you know, see as another human being, not just a company that's trying to sell them stuff. And it's just a lot easier for them to know, like, and trust you, right? So this is an example of a hybrid personal brand. So the difference between a personal brand and a hybrid personal brand is you can't sell your personal brand, whereas with a hybrid personal brand, you can actually sell it. So how exactly do you do a hybrid personal brand that you can sell later on? Well, vidIQ is a great example of that. So this handsome gentleman right here, I've been watching his videos for years. He's a very charismatic guy, and he's basically the face of vidIQ. And so, you know, he doesn't own the company. I'm sure he has like some equity in it, but he doesn't own the company. But he makes the majority of the videos for the company. And he's somebody that the general audience can kind of relate to. He's basically like the face of your brand. It's kind of like Flo for Progressive ads, if you've ever seen, you know, ads for insurance in the United States. She's the face of the brand. And you can even see big companies are trying to kind of move towards that hybrid personal brand because they understand that people want to buy from other people. They don't want to buy from companies. And you can even see here that in this case, they're actually kind of phasing, I wouldn't say phasing him out, but they're having other people do the presentations as well. So there's this second guy that they're having do it as well. So this makes a huge difference, guys. It makes an absolute huge difference kind of how you position your channel to where they think that they're kind of like talking to and buying from, if they end up buying from you, another human being. It's not just like a corporation where some poor marketing person had to, you know, drew the short straw and they have to make the YouTube videos, right? So second, use the ICAHN method for video ideas. So some of you may recognize this guy. His name is Carl ICAHN. He's a kind of a legend in the finance world. And when I was first trying to figure out YouTube, trying to figure out like how the algorithm works, how you can get videos to explode and, you know, just get millions of views, I started studying, you know, people from industries that I think are kind of like have the smartest people in the world. So finance, software, etc. And Carl Icahn was one of the people that I studied. And so basically, he figured out a way of evaluating businesses in such a way where he could easily sort of like identify the businesses that were doing really well, despite the fact that they weren't being run very well. Okay, so these are businesses where they had hundreds or in some cases even thousands of employees that weren't actually doing anything. They were just kind of emailing each other all day long. Maybe they were making like PowerPoint presentations, but they weren't actually accomplishing anything. And yet the company was still doing pretty well. It was still making a lot of money. And so he figured out a way to identify these companies, buy them, fix them up, you know, make it to where they're actually productive and they have like good management, good, you know, operations, etc. And, you know, and then he 10x the company and they end up selling it for a lot more. So I took this and I applied it to YouTube. Now, how do you do this on YouTube? You find videos that are made extremely poorly. So you find a video that is bad, right? This is what we're looking for. People get confused by this. We are looking for a very badly made video that for some reason still got a ton of views. So this is a great example right here. This is me using the ICAHN method with my most popular video ever. So this is a video I found. This was a few years back. I actually went back and looked at the Google Doc when I was doing the research for this. And this is what it looked like a few years back. So this guy basically just like drunkenly turned on his camera one night and started ranting about college degrees. And he, you know, his camera looked like it was recorded with a potato. His sound was terrible. There was kind of like this buzzing sound in the background, like zzz, the whole time, like, you know, with a what it sounds like if you recorded a video with a 90s VHS camcorder. And then he uploaded it without a thumbnail. So this is just the, you know, the image, like the still image that YouTube automatically captures. And he was slurring his words. He had like a pretty bad intro, just et cetera, right? So very, very bad video, yet it still got 760,000 views. And what does that tell you? The idea of the video is something that people are starving to hear about. Just like in the ICAHN method, that company probably had some sort of huge advantage, like their brand was an advantage, or they had some kind of intellectual property that was an advantage, or maybe there's the idea in general, they were first to market, and so they had a huge advantage. And this is the same thing. The idea is an idea that people are starving to hear about. So what did I do? I basically recreated that video, changed a few things up, made the title a little bit different, and made an actual decent thumbnail. And there you go. That's the result, 3 million views. Now, one thing I'll say about the ICAHN method, you don't just have to go for views. In fact, I recommend actually with many SaaS companies that you go for topics that are more bottom of the funnel, but are likely to get sales. And there's ways of recognizing that which topics are likely to get sales and which topics aren't. You can kind of look at how much ad buyers are paying for those topics, for instance, and you can kind of guess like, yeah, okay, they're probably getting a lot of sales from that. So you don't necessarily have to do it with views. You can also go off of, you know, a decent amount of views, but a topic that you know is going to get sales. So that's the ICAHN method. Here's another example. You know, I don't think I have much time to go to the video link, but as you can see on the top, this is a pretty poorly made thumbnail. It says work from home, and yet the background is like palm trees, which doesn't really make sense. Has way too many colors, so it just doesn't match very well. And I don't know, this last part just doesn't look very well. So I'll quickly go to the video example, and you can see in the intro here, his face is blurry. So his camera isn't even working properly here. And that, again, perfect example of the ICAHN method. You want to find these videos that are actually somewhat bad, and then those are the videos that you actually want to remake. So that's you know, exactly what I did 5 months ago, 1.2 million views. You know, that's how it works. So another thing you want to look for is like when you're doing this, you want to look for channels that don't have as many subscribers. So this would be, you know, this guy had 10K subs and he got 760,000 views. So that's a 76-to-1 ratio. In this case, at the time that I made this, he had about 100K subs and it had, I think, 4 million views. So it was about a 40-to-1 ratio. So I recently took this photo, but back then it was a little bit different. So by the way, I'll take more questions towards the end. We can do a Q&A. trying to get through this as fast as possible so I can give you guys as much value as possible. So the second thing is you want to use the holy trifecta on every video. So what is the holy trifecta? It is the thumbnail, the title, and the intro or the hook of your video. So I'll just say that again. It's the thumbnail, the title, and the hook. So in this particular example, this is the thumbnail right here. This is the title. And then if you clicked on the video, the first maybe 30 seconds or so would be the intro or the hook of the video. So why is this so important? You want to, not only is this really important, but you actually want to do this before you even make the video. That's how important it is. Before you even make the video, you want to make the thumbnail, title, and intro for the video, because it's basically the marketing. You could have the best product in the world, but if your marketing is bad, no one's ever going to get to see the product, right? And so that's essentially what the thumbnail, title, and intro is. It's the marketing, and the video is your product. And so you want to find, just like kind of notice something like this, how the thumbnail, the title, and you're not going to see the intro, but I can kind of tell you what it is, how all three of those kind of work together, because there's a relationship between those three things. And so you can see here the thumbnail. What does this say? The thumbnail tells a story all on its own. You can tell what this video is all about just by looking at the thumbnail. I've got my degree there. That's my doctorate. I have my X, like an X through the degree. And then I have degrees to avoid. I have these big wide eyes. I think I actually whitened the whites of my eyes in Photoshop so that they'd pop even a little bit more. And then the thumbnail itself has really good balance. There's space up in the top left and bottom right. And you can tell what this video is about just by looking at the thumbnail. And this thumbnail sort of shows like fear, right? Like you need to avoid this. Like it's something you should be scared of. And then the title is the most useless degrees, ... all lower caps except for the first letter. And I did that on purpose because you can see like all the letters down here are capitalized. So I did this on purpose because I wanted to give it a certain feel. So the thumbnail sets a certain expectation that the title has to meet. And then same thing with your intro, right? You want to meet that intro. So if I was smiling in the introduction, I was like, hey guys, here's the worst college degrees, that would not match the same vibe or feeling that the thumbnail and the title gives. So you need to be aware of how these three things sort of work together, right? And then same thing down here, top 10 college majors that are actually worth it. I have this kind of like little bit of a smile on my face, like I know something that you don't know. And I give off that vibe. Like I know the top 10 college majors that are actually worth it. That word actually is pretty powerful, right? And then the intro is, something that matches with that. You can check these videos out on your own if you'd like to. I don't think I have, time to go over the intros. And then last thing, have a robust affiliate or influencer marketing program. So this is something that, I do think you should create your own channel on YouTube. I think that is very important to do that. But this is a way that you can absolutely blow your business up. So does anyone recognize this right here? Does anyone recognize what this is? If you recognize it, you can go ahead and put it in the chat right now. What company this is. Some of you might even use it. So, yep, this is Go High Level. Good job, Merdad. Good job. So this is Go High Level, and this young guy right here is 21 years old. He makes over $100,000 a month just promoting this company. That I believe the company gives 30% recurring commissions. And so he is generating $300,000 a month on his own for this company, right? Or around there, right? So at a 21-year-old. So this is a 21-year-old. Obviously, he's good at content creation. Maybe you think you're not very good at content creation. Great. Create a robust affiliate or influencer program. And this is a 21-year-old who, could be doing many different things. He's clearly a very talented YouTuber, but he chooses to promote Go High Level because they have a really good affiliate program. And of course, it's a pretty good product as well. And, you can check out his channel. He doesn't even make videos that often. The funny thing is at the time he made that video, he only had like 20 or 30K subs. So even with a small channel, he was generating the company like 250, 300K per month. That's just one person, right? And so imagine if you had 100 people doing that for you. That's going to be pretty good for you. And, he's still doing it. He talks about, SaaS. He talks about social media marketing agencies, which are, a really good target demographic for Go High Level. And so how do you actually do these? How do you find affiliates for your SaaS? I've got 2 minutes left. So cold email, that's how you do it. Okay. You want to be transparent about it though. Us YouTubers get probably like 100 emails a day, and 99 out of 100 of them are absolutely terrible from companies trying to do sponsorships, affiliate deals, that kind of stuff with us. I'm going to give you guys the cheat code for how to actually get through, okay? Tell them what other affiliates earn, right? If you have other affiliates that are earning money. If you don't, be extra upfront about how much they can earn. And you want to be generous about this, right? Because network effects are going to kick in if you're generous with your commissions, right? They're going to tell their YouTube friends, all of us YouTubers know each other. They're going to tell their YouTube friends. All of a sudden, you're going to have 10 people promoting it, 50 people, 100 people promoting it. So be generous. Trust me, guys, it's going to pay off on the back end, because most of these companies are way too stingy with their programs. Like, we know you guys are making like 10 times more than what you're paying us, right? And the companies that are stingy just don't get as much. Us YouTubers talk, and they're not going to get as much network effects from us YouTubers talking. So talk about what other affiliates earn or how much they can earn, and really emphasize that. Talk about how you pay, like how fast you pay. And then also talk about your customer results. Okay, so what we want to see is like, okay, what are other affiliates doing? What are your customer results? So like, do you have good customer results? Because we don't want to promote a really bad product. And then how you pay. And a great title opener, amazing opener, guys. Quick question. That's it. Email title, quick question. Include proof. Don't make us ask, right? Do not make us ask for all this stuff. That's one thing I see all the time. That just annoys us. We're just going to block you, or just just mark as read and never respond. I know that most companies say something like, I know that most companies that reach out to you are really annoying, and you probably just mark them as read right away. But I wanted to show you this, what other affiliates earn, what they can earn, customer results, etc. Just put it all up front in the email. You are going to get responses, I guarantee you, right? Because you are going to stand out. You're going to be that purple cow that's different than all the other companies that try to do this. And like I said, be generous. Network effects will kick in. So really quickly, I can help. I help channels do about 10 to 30K in new MMR from YouTube within 3 months. And this is my website. You can check it out, thecontentgrowthengine.com. These are, a bunch of the testimonials from clients that I've helped. This is Troy Buckold. He's the CEO of Course Careers. I helped him out. I helped him out with his affiliate strategy, as well as just the channel in general. This guy right here got to 500K per month. This is Thomas. And yeah, I helped him out as well. And yeah, so I think that's about all. I think I ran out of time. My timer went off. So Alexi, I'll let you take it away.
That's awesome. Thanks so much, Shane.
Got
Cool.
it.
So guys, feel free to put more questions in. I think what we can also do, since we don't have too many questions, we could even put your domain in, or put your own YouTube channel in. And since we have a bit more time, Shane could even go and check out your channel and basically do a live demonstration on how you could improve your channel. I think we had one here in cybersecurity, Claudel. Shane, if you want to go on Claudel,
yeah. Sure.
and let's check it out in real time, what can be done.
Do they want us to check it out? Let's see. Let's see if I can find it.
I guess if you posted it, why not, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So Akash,
Okay.
maybe you can just tell us some background info, Akash, on your channel. You can unmute yourself, or you can write it in chat, like what's your customer, who do you serve, etc.
Nice. Cloudle. Okay, so cybersecurity. Do you know Greg Hogland, the person who posted this? Just post if you know who I'm talking about. But yeah, okay. So how to onboard DigitalOcean account info, Cloudle, AWS security masterclass. Let's look at the most popular ones 7 months ago. Let's look at the oldest ones 2 years ago. So yeah, I do like the branding. I think the branding is on point. Big problem here is you don't really have a personal brand. So that's the first thing I notice. And if you do have a personal brand, it's not obvious on the thumbnail. So you want to, if you do have someone who's typically presenting, you want to put them on the thumbnail, because people like to buy from other people, right? Another thing, this seems extremely it doesn't seem very search friendly at all. It looks like these are kind of just tutorial videos, so they might even just be using this just to host the videos, basically. Yeah, I'm not even sure if you're even aiming to try to get views, because these look like basically tutorial videos. See, from success to nightmare. Yeah, so this one right here is okay. From success to nightmare, definitely you should have put your face here. You should have put some sort of with the title, you know, something that gets a lot of views. So you'd want to look up SEO for that, something that gets a lot of views, and then yeah, you should be making a face like that, like Joey from the Friends in the thumbnail. Okay, maybe not quite like that, but you know what I mean. A face that has a little bit of emotion. And that would help a lot with this video. So yeah, just right off the top of my head, those are a bunch of things that you could do to basically immediately improve this. Also, at the beginning of the video, I see the intro here. You're on the side, or whoever is presenting for you is on the side. You want to start the videos out like normal talking head mode. And then if you are gonna, you know, do a presentation where you're kind of small on the side, that's totally fine. But do that after you've given the intro and you started the video off, right? That would help a lot as well. And yeah, use the icon method to find those ideas that have a starving crowd of people. So, you know, ideas that the analogy I like to always give is if you were to, you know, make a really good restaurant that serves amazing Michelin star quality food, but you put it right outside of a buffet, everyone coming out of the buffet, they just ate, they're not going to go to your restaurant, right? Because or your stand, because they just ate. They're not hungry anymore. But if you serve like pretty mediocre hot dogs to a crowd of starving people, there's going to be lots and lots of people that buy that. You're going to sell out. Okay. So that is kind of the icon method in a nutshell. You want to find that crowd of starving people. And the way that you determine that is you look for content that is objectively really bad, yet it performed very well. And the only thing that that could possibly be is the idea of the content. There's a starving crowd of people for that idea. So that would be my feedback, my 5-minute feedback on Cloudle.
Let's maybe move to the next one. We have a bit more time. Let's do the alien art charts. Not sure if that's a SaaS, but let's check it out.
Okay, so first off, right off the bat, it looks like this is an AI video. I'm personally not a fan of AI videos. I just don't think they're good enough yet. Let's check out their oldest videos. Okay, so they started posting 3 years ago. They've got about almost 4K subs. Congrats on that. It's getting up there. Let's look at their most popular video, how to make comparison video. So this is extremely top of funnel, but animated charts. So I'm guessing the videos are actually showcasing the animated charts, so that actually does make sense. But with that being said, it's still relatively top of funnel to kind of talk about like how to make a comparison video or how to make bar charts. It's still a little bit how much money has Mr. Beast given away? This is still relatively top of funnel. It's okay to get, you know, views and kind of get it into the rest of your channel, but you do have to be very clever with your marketing when you do top of funnel stuff, because your qualification is going to be, you know, pretty hard when it comes to your marketing. So let's see here. For the type of channel you're doing, the fact that you are actually promoting the type of product that is in the videos that you're making, it does actually make a good amount of sense here to do that. But with that being said, I hope this isn't an AI voice, or if it is an AI voice, I hope it's a really, really good one. I would just go ahead and just, you know, if some of these are an AI voice, like the one on the homepage, I would just go ahead and just hire a voiceover artist. I mean, you can hire them on Fiverr for basically nothing. So just hire a voiceover artist for that. And yeah, overall, again, this is kind of a weird case because they're sort of like making the things that they're selling. So, you know, I still think that making a personal brand would be better for selling this, because again, people know, like, and trust you way more when you have a personal brand. But with that being said, I kind of do see what you're doing here. I just think it needs some refinement. I think you could definitely do better if you use the icon method again. You could still use the icon method even for this type of video. And yeah, I think that's pretty good little quick feedback on this channel.
That was cool.
Should I do
And
another?
I got a quick question. So I scroll Twitter a fair bit, and YouTube, Twitter is all about faceless channels right now. But you've begun to sort of hint the fact that it's not a good thing because of your hybrid brand and so forth. This, what's your takes on that? And
Yeah,
maybe
so my take,
what a faceless channel even is in the first place.
yeah, faceless channel is a channel that you don't have to show your face for. And in many cases you can like automate it, quote unquote. So the reason that those are so big is because they sell so well. Because it is a way of making money, don't get me wrong, like there are definitely people crushing it with faceless channels. But the reason why there's so many people on Twitter that are promoting that is because it's just such an easy sell. You know, you don't have to show your face, right? A lot of people have anxiety about showing their face on YouTube. So you don't have to show your face. You don't have to do much work. You can automate it, quote unquote, and just, you know, it's passive income. It's just a really easy sell from a marketing standpoint. And so it's a lot easier for someone to sell like to a mass market audience, the whole YouTube automation thing and the faceless channel thing, than it is to sell personal branding. Because even though personal branding is way more effective, it's just a little scary for people to do. Like people are just, you know, intimidated by it. So that's my take on that.
Nice. Cool.
Can I also ask a question? Actually, we were discussing it with Aman. There is a bit of a trend right now going where people do a natural picture of themselves rather than a clickbaity thumbnail, which is like creative and, you know, a bunch of stuff in the background and big fonts. What do you think about that? Is that like a temporary trend and it might reverse, or yeah, what do you think?
A bunch of stuff going on in the background in big font.
So let's say if
Uh,
you search like Sam Sulek, for example, Shane, the huge
oh,
bot guy.
Sam Sulek.
Example, yes, he doesn't have his
Yeah.
thumbnail is very
Oh yeah. Well, he doesn't even have any text in his thumbnail, I don't think, right?
exactly,
It's just
but
a
he's
picture of
somehow
him.
racking up
Yeah.
millions. What's going on there?
Yeah. So YouTube is going through a little bit of a, I'm not sure if it's going to become the meta right now, which is the most effective tactic available, but YouTube is going through a little bit of a phase right now where super authentic content is doing really well. And by authentic, I mean no clickbait thumbnails, no clickbait titles. Um, let's see, like not a lot of overly edited stuff. Basically, like the real reason that people watch YouTube, and this is a big thing, right? Like a lot of people don't know this. The real reason that people watch YouTube is because they're bored or lonely. Those are the two reasons. Now, they might convince themselves that they're watching it for education or whatever, but that's not the real reason. The real reason is because they're bored or lonely, sometimes both, right? And so when you have that authentic content where you have somebody just truly being themselves, they're not doing super clickbaity stuff, trying to get views. They're kind of just being themselves, like going about doing their day-to-day stuff. It really does appeal to a lot of people. And yeah, it's doing extremely well right now. And I've noticed that, you know, Sam Sulek that's more of a mass market audience, but the authentic types of content do extremely well with B2B audiences as well. So just a few examples here. This guy right here, Charlie Morgan,
Yeah,
he makes videos that are typically like not even edited, and his thumbnails are pretty basic, right? So it's just him with a whiteboard, and the videos are either not edited at all or barely edited. And he does about 1.3 million a month. So with his high ticket coaching program, so he teaches like SaaS companies how to get more clients, essentially, or
Yeah.
not
So,
SaaS.
so
Sorry,
he
not SaaS
basically,
company.
yeah,
He
we
he
basically.
teaches SMMAs, so social media marketing agencies, how to get more clients, and he's
Mhm.
doing about 1.3 million a month. So again, very kind of authentic content. He tells stories about his life. He reveals deep dark secrets about himself, like the lowest points of his life, and like all that kind of stuff. And it does really, really well. And YouTube is going through that phase right now where authentic content is doing extremely well because people are getting a little bit tired of the clickbait. But with that being
Mhm.
said, the clickbait is still king. You know, it's just a little bit less powerful than usual. And I don't know if this is going to like permanently switch the meta. That would be great if it did. But yeah, I don't personally think that's going to permanently switch the meta. I will say if you have more of a high ticket, sophisticated audience, so like B2B audience, high ticket, sophisticated, this type of content does tend to do a lot better with them because they don't need to be entertained. They don't need dancing clowns. They don't need fancy editing in the background. So if you're a B2B, that chances are that's, you know, high ticket, sophisticated audience. So this type of content can do extremely well for those types of audiences.
But if we look at his channel, right, we can see that in the past it was super polished, super clickbaity. If you scroll down, right, could you make the argument that unless you have already a massive following, right, you cannot move to that really original without editing stuff? But yes, once you have a massive audience and, you know, like
Yeah, so
Mhm.
and exactly, like his content used to be clickbaity, but to be fair, he usually he didn't edit his content that much. Like he might have edited like the very first part of it, but he like very minimalist editing. And so it still was pretty like authentic, you know, but then he just switched to like pure authentic where even the thumbnails were authentic. So yeah, overall I still recommend clickbaiting a little bit. And by clickbaiting, I don't mean like full clickbait, just, you know, just make the thumbnail good, right? The audience, generally speaking, that works better, even if you are making more authentic, you know, minimalist editing type of content. Another channel that I like to give in as example, this guy makes about 600K a month. So Serge Guattari, he teaches people how to like scale their businesses, a lot of different types of businesses. And if you go to his older videos where he just started, it was literally Loom videos. Like that's how he started. It was just Loom videos. Like he would just make Loom videos and then upload them. Like no editing, nothing, right? And he would get a lot of views and he would get a lot of sales from these videos, right? So what can our trained $3 per hour virtual assistants do for your e-commerce agency? And it's just a Loom video of him like looking at his screen, right? So this content, if you're solving real problems for real people that have real money, you can make content like this because they don't need to be entertained if it's a sophisticated audience. Sophisticated audiences don't need to be entertained. And you know, this is proof of that. Like he was doing really, really well. At this time when he was making these videos, he was doing, you know, hundreds of thousands of dollars a month with just Loom videos. Right. So if you have the excuse like, you know, I can't get started or whatever, I mean, can you make Loom videos? You could probably get started. So
okay, cool. I think we have time for one more demonstration. Should we pick the last one, Mind Genius official? Let's see what it is.
you want me to pick that one, Mind Genius?
Yeah, why not? Let's say
cool.
it's like a
Mind Genius on
productivity one.
Okay, so I'm glad to hear a non-AI voice. That's a good sign. Let's see, 409 subscribers, oldest 5 years ago. Okay, most popular 4 years ago, new features. So it looks like this is another kind of just like tutorial channel, and you might even be just hosting them on YouTube, just, you know, from your like for your website or whatever. You know, so these videos are obviously like not going to do that well if you're just kind of just doing tutorial videos. But you know, so with a channel like this, again, have a personal brand, either do it yourself or hire somebody, hire some talent to record the videos for you. Maybe you have someone on your team that's a good talker, you know, and they know how the product works. They can record the videos for you. Have them on the thumbnail, do a personal brand or a hybrid personal brand, I mean, and use the ICAHN method to find videos where they are, you know, objectively bad and yet they did really well, and then that are related to your niche, of course. Let me see, productivity, collaboration. I'm guessing, okay, so this is kind of like a project management software. Got you. So yeah, project management related videos. So, you know, you could do a video, for instance, I like doing these videos sometimes, as you can see. Project management tier list, you know, that might do pretty well. Or project management. Let's see what pops up. By the way, this thing I'm using here is Keywords Everywhere. I also like to use vidIQ for research. So Keywords Everywhere and vidIQ, those are the only two keyword research tools that I use personally. I've tried all of them. and I like these two a lot. So project management tools. Oh yeah, project management tools, project management software. So project management software, you'd kind of look through here. You'd start looking for videos that performed extremely well despite having a pretty small channel and despite being objectively pretty bad. So let's see, legendary marketer. Yeah, this video looks pretty bad. It's 1,000 subs and 15K views, so that it's okay. It's not amazing, but you know, just something that you find right off the bat. It's not too bad. Oh, here we go, right here. So 2,000 subscribers, 70K views. Best project management software for 2024, Motion versus Asana versus ClickUp versus Monday versus Notion or Motion. Oh, okay, Motion and Notion. Okay. So yeah, this could potentially be a good one for you to check out. This could potentially be a good video idea. So I would screenshot this idea and I would store it somewhere and move on to the next, try to find some good ones. Okay, 2K, 10, it's okay. Just keep moving. Yeah, okay, here we go. How to use Jira software for beginners. Jira project management software. I don't know if this would be good since you'd be promoting one of your competitors potentially, but maybe you could spin it in such a way where, you know, you're like, oh, Jira is not that good for this, but there's this other project management software that's actually much better. Let's see. AI Unleashed, transforming project management with intelligent solutions. Yeah, this video looks objectively pretty bad. Yeah, it looks like it's just like a presentation or something like that. Usually these types of videos don't do very well. 14K subs. Oh, but it has 165 views. I thought that said 165K. So yeah, you just basically just go down the list. You know, vidIQ is the thing that makes the subscribers pop up. That makes this whole thing much easier. And that's actually the free version of vidIQ that does that. So you don't even have to pay for it to get that. And that's one of the best features. Okay, this is a good one. Intro to Project Management, Google Project Management Certificate. Maybe you could potentially spin that in such a way where, you know, you say like project management certificate. This is a great certificate you can get, and a really good software you could use is your software. You could potentially spin it in that kind of way. And yeah, you just go down the list and you'd find some good ones. When you find a good one, you'd take a picture of it and move on.
Awesome. Cool. I mean, that's it, guys. I think like you know, the last slide, you know, you should have the invites in your mailbox for the next sessions. If you know, don't, yeah, just text us, email us. But yeah, the next session is on SEO. So if you enjoyed that, like our post, subscribe to our channels. And yeah, thanks so much, guys.